Good morning, traders. Happy Friday. Last day of the week. Looking forward to the weekend. Hope you are all doing the same. Looking forward to whatever you might have on this weekend, spending time with family. Let me know in the comments what's your weekend plans. Welcome back to the channel, guys. It's Jimmy's Trades, of course. Be sure to subscribe, hit that like button, and turn on the notification icon. Let's jump over to calendar. Check out. So we've got 8:30 news, core retail sales month on month. So we'll see what sort of volatility that brings into the market. Hopefully not a crazy candle so that it doesn't distort price action too much. But we'll be waiting for 8:30 for any positions. Now let's jump straight over to gold because I just want to show you what I was looking at there today during London. Right, so you can see some executions here. So I did take this position. Now I'll explain to you why for me this was a B rating for a trade, to be perfectly honest. For me, one of the main reasons was we're middle of the range, low resistance liquidity. That was really what I was looking at. The other thing was that price on this candle here, the low, this low here didn't sweep that low. And for me, I would have much preferred to see that low sweep the previous hourly candle. We did have support here in the bullish FVG, but ultimately I would have liked to have seen a sweep of that low, and that would have improved the trade rating for me. Now, you're probably going to ask, well, why aren't I still in this trade? Simply put, price struggled to close through this bearish FVG here on the 5-minute. We did respect the breaker plus IFVG and balanced price range. Now this is our Pegasus formation. We have a sweep of the low here. So this is our stop hunt, and this is our breaker and our balanced price range. Now price was very sluggish. And when price is sluggish, that always deters me a little bit. I like to see decisive price action. I really want to see my TP hit reasonably quickly. We can see here that we were in this trade for an hour and 5 odd minutes. Maybe I'm a little impatient, but that's almost a bit too long for my liking. So I had already moved my stop to break even on this trade. So that's why I got out on this candle. I got out in profit, but it was break even. And obviously this was quite an aggressive move lower. We found some support back in the breaker here. And you can see that price is moving higher. We're still not at TP. I probably would have, if I was still in the trade, I would have probably taken profit at Asia high. I'm going to leave that on the chart, see how price goes. So this was the previous London high before we put in a new high. And you can see that we had that reaction there, and it looked like price wanted to turn around with this sluggish move higher, then not able to displace through this bearish FEG. I closed above that level and I was going to be pretty pumped to see price move higher. Unfortunately, that didn't occur. So one of the ones, just to document, got out in profit. Obviously not the full 2R, only a partial profit, but that's okay. It was not, in my opinion, an A+ setup. This was a B grade setup. And occasionally it's good to take those just to see how they play out. also refining our entry. The other thing is we could have taken an entry off of this close, this IFEG. So for me, my Pegasus model, if we have a breaker, which we must have a breaker aligned with the IFEG. In this case, we do have a balanced price range as well, so even better. You could take your entry off of there. Your 2R is still up at this level here, but you would have had zero or very little drawdown through that whole period. I missed this entry, that's why I didn't take it there. And once I miss that, then I'll wait for price to close through and then determine if I'm going to market order or if I'm going to limit order in to my position. So that was the gold trade during London. It looks like it's probably going to reach to 2R now. Hopefully you guys get a better understanding of why I framed it as a B trade. So let's move on now. Let's jump over to the daily chart on NQ. We'll come back to gold. So looking at NQ, we've got a nice sweep of the highs. We've been targeting that. That has been our target for the week. We are inside this bullish, this bearish FEG. Okay. What I will be looking for is if price is going to continue higher, this level here, where we have this inversion, I'm going to see if price does move higher, how price reacts to this level, because I'd anticipate price to come back into the weekly range. We've now had expansion throughout the whole week, with Monday putting in the low, could be setting up for a TGIF. And if we have a look at the weekly candle, we can see it is a nice expansion candle, very little wick to the downside. We've got an open, low, potentially a high and a close back inside the range. So that would be your weekly candle. I don't want the 5 minute. Back to the daily. So that's what I'd be looking for. We've also opened today with no wick to the downside. So that will, for me, act as a draw. If price is able to move up into this region here, let's draw it around the other way. For example, coming back into this bullish FEG, or this gap that's present at the moment, that's around your 30% retracement back into the range if price moves up to this level. Enough of the daily now, let's drop down to the hourly. Clear the chart there a little bit. Potential for a reversal here. You can see we haven't displaced through this breaker here yet. Still respecting this bullish FEG here. I'm going to remain bullish for the time being on NQ. ES is probably going to be much the same. Let's move out to the daily first. So SMT with NQ, we're looking at what we got there, January 31st to current. Looking at this week here, same. So it's SMT at the moment. Because we've got equal highs there. This low resistance liquidity or these relative equal highs look interesting to me. And again, I think that looks like pretty much equal highs here as well. So anticipating price to move higher into New York AM and then a potential reversal from there. A bullish for ES for the time being. Moving over to oil. On the daily, we've got insight to order flow here. This is our swing point candle. Off a swing low and out of this bullish FEG as well. And price closed back inside the range. So I really like to see this. We've got a little bit of work to do here because we do have a bearish FEG. However, with this information, I think price will continue to move higher. So we'll leave that as bullish. If we move down to the hourly, there is a very nice hourly breaker with a unicorn here. In fact, it's an hourly Pegasus. Why is it a Pegasus? Because we have single FEG in the leg that took liquidity. We've inverted that FEG and we also now have a balanced price range through here. So price is respecting that. So what can we do? We can run our projections from the high, from the low to the high, and we can look for oil to start reaching for this level here. So if we move out to the daily, where does that put us? Way up here. So bullish for oil looks good to me. Moving to 6E, we've now swept this high. We've had multiple days of expansion as well. So there is a good chance, or a chance at least, that we could move back into the range here. Let's look at the hourly. Still reasonably bullish on the hourly as well. Respecting the bullish PD arrays here as we move higher. Again through here. Showing a lot of respect to these bullish PD arrays. Here's one right now. Price is testing. See if price can hold. I'm going to look for price to actually move lower here. Okay, come back into this gap. Off the swing high, multiple days of expansion, looking for a retracement back into the weekly range. Okay, let's head back over to gold now. Bullish for gold. Looking for price to reach to this high and create new all-time highs. Let's duck down to the 5-minute, see if price has reached that 2R yet. Still hasn't reached that 2R. It has reached the Asia high though. So ultimately a valid trade that is playing out. Rightio, over on Dixie, we've taken out the low here. That's what we were targeting. This is perfect. I won't immediately be bullish. However, we have swept these lows. So this is our bullish point of interest. Ideally, I would have liked to have seen this low taken as well. Let's have a look at the hourly. So what we might end up seeing is something like this. Okay, some reversal structure, or potentially even something like this. All right, I will put down a bullish bias just because we have swept that low, or those series of lows, and we've had expansion to the low side all week. So again, looking for retracement back into the range. Inversely correlated to indices. So if we do retrace back into the range bullish here, then that would align with our idea. Obviously moving higher for NQ and ES until we reach a point and then return back into the range. Having a look at GU. Very nice. We've had a really good week with bias here, guys. Pretty much been spot on all week. Right, now we've swept the high here. I'll be looking for a series of opposing candles here. If price comes lower, to find support here. Something like this. Now this was quite a strong close. And whilst we didn't close through this level initially, working off this expansion here, I'd anticipate we might even see these equal highs or relative equal highs reached. So I'm going to stay bullish for GU. Let's jump over to Bitcoin now. And just a reminder, guys, to grab those Tradeify accounts. Code Jimmy Trades will get you 30% off. Ends today. 30% off all accounts ends today. So code Jimmy Trades. And of course, Apex still has 80% off for another 5 odd days. Let's look at this Bitcoin here. So we're still finding support, I should say, in this bullish FVG. So going to remain bullish while we continue to respect this level. Rightio, let's end the video there, guys. Thank you again for an amazing week. Remember to join us in Trade Foundry. We're having a great time there. We're building a very, very good community. There's a lot of very good spirit in there as well. So head on over to Trade Foundry. The link is in the description. Remember, you can also gain access to the ADR indicator that I use, the Jimmy Trades average daily range indicator. The link is in the description of the video for that as well. All right, guys, have a great weekend. Enjoy the time with family and friends. Bye for now.